our Pastor Jerry Bird and his wife Roxanne lead Legacy. And our resident in-house comedian, Leonard Wilder. Are you here, Leonard? He's not. He'll probably be in the second service. He likes that rock music. At 91 years old, he loves it. But he will tell jokes. And we laugh. He can, as soon as he stands up on that stage back there in the chapel, we begin to laugh, don't we, Johnny? His face is funny. Medicine. But a broken spirit saps a person's. Is that true or what? A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit saps a person's strength. Listen, I love to laugh more than anybody. I like comedians, but you can't watch them. They get edgy. They get vulgar. And they get off color. So you try to find a comedian like a Tim Hawkins. He's a Christian comedian. Or a Leonard Wilder. He's a Christian comedian. Or a Mark Lowry. He's a Christian comedian. Or a Jamie Regal, who'll be here on the 3rd, and he's working on those lines. I heard some of it last night. Man, it's just good. That's why I love Jamie. He can be going along and really say some strong things, and then that humor gives him the levity to say some things that really need to be said. And God's gifted him at that. My favorite comedian on this planet is Nate Bargatze. He's right over there this morning. Nate is the funniest man on the planet. Nate, we went to see him last year. Or this year. We went to see him this year. He was so funny. Up in Muncie at Ball State. Now, he's a Christian, but he doesn't book himself as a Christian comedian. And he just sold out U.S. Bank Arena for January. I think it's in January. And it sold out so quick, he put on another show. So he has 2 sold-out shows at U.S. Bank Arena. Isn't that crazy? He said that I'm so Christian. My family was so Christian. Jesus had more fun growing up than we did. That's how Christian that's what he's, man, I love that guy. So I found this little clip, and if you can YouTube it, and you do Nate Bargatze, and Brother Carol, Lindsay, you're going to love this one because it's about golfing with your wife. And I said to Mike, hey, can we show this little couple minutes, a clip of Nate? I'm not a agent for Nate Bargatze. I just think it's healthy and it's good to laugh. And this guy makes me laugh. And I hope you find this funny just as much as I do have a message, by the way. Okay? So I promise I do.
You love something, you want your spouse to come do it with you. So we go play golf. And I'm sure everybody knows this, but in golf, tee times are very specific. It's 1:56, it's 2:04, 2:13. These are the times. I didn't make it up. This is what they do. Our tee time is 1:56, and we're driving to the first tee. It's 1:55. She goes, I need to go to the bathroom and get something to drink. I tell her that is too bad. I said, we tee off in 15 seconds. And she said, I thought it was 2-ish. I go, well, you made that up on your own. This is the most rule-following place on earth. She says, I'm still going to go. And I was like, all right, whatever. I'm not trying to start a fight before we get going. So I get out of the golf cart, and I grab my driver and 1 golf ball. And I was like, go do whatever you got to go do, but I need to tee off so we're on time. So I'm going to tee off and just meet me in the fairway for my second shot. And she's not going to play every hole anyway. So I'm like pointing at the fairway. And so she drives off, and I go up to the first tee. There's these old men there. Now, they don't tee off till tomorrow, but they like to get there early. So I got a group watching. I tee off. It's a good shot. It goes in the fairway. Not a big deal. A lot of people do that. I tee off, then play 4 holes alone with my driver. Do you know how big of a psycho you look like? When you go hit every single golf shot with the least versatile club in the bag. Those old men were like, what's he doing? As they watched me line drive my second shot. I chipped with that driver. Very luckily 7-putted with that same driver. She finally showed up, and she was laughing. I wasn't as thrilled as she thought I should be. You made your husband play 4 holes alone with his driver. You got out of the bathroom, forgot how Earth worked, and drove the wrong way for an hour. I had to play a par 3 with the driver. You know how far you got to choke down on a driver? I had just the head in my hand, just hitting it.
All right, isn't that funny? That's funny. You know, I'm thinking about that verse, but as you're watching that, I don't think about anything else in the world. But just to laugh and to have fun. I love it because, you know, there are those that sit among us, even yourself, who have said, man, has God abandoned me? And so I thought, well, the Lord on the cross, he said the same thing. He said, God, why have you forsaken me? Why have you abandoned me? Now that's the Son of God, incarnate, perfect Son of God, Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. But in the darkest moment of his life, his Father turns his back on him because his Father could not look upon sin. Now, in our human perspective, and Jesus understands when we feel this way, is the Lord listening? Has the Father abandoned me? Does he know I exist? Does he really love me? And in our pain, our basket of sorrow and our basket of pain, and there are times that we live our pain through our kids. We live our pain through our son or our daughter, our husband, our wife, a coworker, a friend, and the pain can be so overwhelming. And then you read a verse like Proverbs 17, verse 22. I'll give it to you again. It says, a cheerful heart is good medicine. It's good medicine. I was with a guy